So now, moving to the next part, we find continuing efforts to stabilize linguistic and cultural unity in India. This is not now, but India from a very ancient time was a home to the variety of people who spoke different languages, have different cultures, and belong to different traditions. In 3rd century BCE, Prakrit was a lingua franca. This simply means that Prakrit was a language which was the one who unified the whole India, just as the role which is now played by Hindi. Almost Hindi is not spoken by all the people, but it is regarded as one of the official languages of India because it has the reach to variety of people unlike many languages. And the very similar role was played by Prakrit at that time, that is a language of a commoner. But with time, the Prakrit, which was written in Brahmi script, was later replaced by Sanskrit. And Sanskrit emerged as a state language even in the remotest part of India. And these processes got exemplified or were shown at a very clear sense in the time of Gupta rule in 4th century BCE. So we believe that in the very beginning, Prakrit was the one who has its preference as the state language or official language or the language of the commoner. But Gupta Empire set out the Sanskrit to be the official languages. And India witnessed a rise of small state during the period, and the official document were written in Sanskrit. As said, Sanskrit was the official language of the time even in the post-Gupta period. Another notable fact that ancient epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata were studied in the same zeal and devotion in the land of Tamils in intellectual circles of Banaras and Takshila. We know that the very beginning of these texts were in the language of Sanskrit that preferably belonged to the North India, but it was very interestingly read all across the country, even in the South India. Today we found a numerous variation in the Mahabharata and Ramayana texts which have been derived from Sanskrit. We can also find the Tamil version, the Telugu version of Mahabharata, of course. We know there was a mission to know about the origin of Mahabharata, which was set out by V. Santhanan under the critical edition of Mahabharata. We know originally all the scripts that are so much influential today, like Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, as well as the Ramayana, are being written in the Sanskrit language for the very first time. However, whatever the form in which Indian culture and values are expressed, the sentence largely remains the same. We know there are a lot of culture and tradition that are prevailed in India, but the last and the ultimate goal are very similar. Some of them are himsa and so on. We know every religion aim at some or other thing. They focus on punya, dan, and so on. May it be any tradition amongst the Hindu religion, or may it be the religion itself. Moving ahead, India's history is especially worthy of our attention because of a peculiar type of social system. We know there is a different and a unique type of social system that was developed in India. In North India, there was Varna system. It developed and eventually spread throughout the country. It was even Christian and Muslims. We know in our India, from the very early Vedic civilization, there were four Varna existing, being Brahmana at the top, Vaishya, Sudra, and Kshatriya. Brahmana being the topmost one, then Kshatriya, then Vaishya, then Sudra. That's how the whole system went on. And even it has influenced Christianity. Even now, if we see Christians, we can relate them as a lower caste Christian, a higher caste Christian, and so as the Muslims. Even converts to Christianity and Islam continue to follow some old practices of Hinduism. We know the Hinduism at a time became very rigid. The people who were belonging to the Sudra Varna were living the very hard life of their time. They were untouchable. They used to live outside the town, and because of all these, they were forced to change the religion from the Hinduism to the Christianity or Islam that is giving them some kind of equality. But of course, it is not possible for the one to end up their instinct. That's why all these practices go on influencing the other religion, and now what we found is a diverse culture itself. That's it for this part. The unity and diversity is now totally completed. I hope you love it.